Yo, what's going on, PLC family? Welcome to the Week 5 podcast. This week, we are back to your regularly scheduled programming. We're going to talk about Week 4 and all our picks and all that good stuff. Then we're going to talk about transactions and trades from this past weekend. And then we are going to finish up with our Week 5 picks. Again, this is a normal podcast, and it's going to be fun. Be sure you guys stick around because this episode is brought to you by the number 3. And that will make sense if you listen to the end of the pod. And that's all I'll say. So we will see you guys in the pod. We will see you guys in chat. And that's all for now. Peace. All right, what's up, PLC? Jay and I are back for the Week 5 podcast, discussing everything Week 4. Jay, how are you feeling?
I miss Cookout, man. I miss Cookout. You know, $7 for all that food. It was heaven, bro.
All this talk about Big Macs and high-cost meals, low-cost meals. Yeah, Cookout is dope. Cookout is fire. But yo, the halal carts you guys got up there, those are like next level.
They're fire, but they're like $15 like a platter now. And keep in mind, I got the small platter with both proteins, but it's half and half. So it's half lamb, half chicken. And then I just got a water, and it was $14. I was like, bro, like, this is crazy, man.
That actually sounds incredible, though. Like, not the price, of course.
It's fantastic. It tastes great. But I'm just like, the portion of the food.
Yeah,
I don't know. To me, it used to be like $8, Jordan. Like,
yeah,
at the cart, it's like $8. It's crazy out here, man. It's crazy out here.
Now look, this is how crazy we want halal food, right? So we're just north of Charlotte. We're in Troutman, and it's about 45. Yeah, it's about 45 minutes north of Charlotte. Call it 45 minutes, 30 to 45 minutes, and we're about an hour from Winston-Salem, and there's a halal cart in Winston that's supposedly pretty nice, and
right.
Like, I told my wife, I was like, yo, next time we go to Greensboro, going right through Winston, like, we're going to go stop by because I've heard good things. So,
got to, man. You guys have some bangers down there. When I was there, it was a rough start. Yeah. But it was Chipotle. But then afterwards, you know, shout out to Ian, you know, for out here chefing it up by taking me to the places, not really chefing it up, but, you know, chefing it up. You know what I mean?
Orchestrating, yeah.
Orchestrating, exactly. That's the word I was looking for.
No, I dig it. Okay, so that's the food talk. That's the PLC food talk. If you came here for the food talk, there you go. You got your 2 minutes worth of food. Jay, we're here to talk Week 4. So I guess the first thing we'll do for this podcast is, you know, the usual. So we'll discuss Week 4 results, talk about perfect calls, missed calls, and all that good stuff. And then we're going to segue into the transactions from this past weekend, and then we will talk about Week 5 picks. Is there anything you want to mention before we jump in and get started?
As of right now, nah, not at all.
All right,
cool. I'm still thinking about the food.
Fair. Yeah, that's actually not a bad thing to think about. I think we're all kind of always thinking about food. So, anyways, Week 4. So, Jay, we made some picks last week.
Yes, sir.
And I'm gonna go ahead and kick us off. So the first match from last week was Mike versus Evan. We both called Mike winning. We both called Mike winning. Jay, you called Mike by 4. I called Mike by 3. We both got the call correct because Mike did win. He won by 3. So you get you get a correct call. I get a perfect call to start the week.
I was going to say, if you want to give me a perfect call, I'll take it.
I don't need to give you any more perfect calls.
Next up, we have myself going against Zach. Jordan, you called Zach by 2. Called myself by 2. Unfortunately, I get absolutely destroyed, and I lose by 4. You know, Zach's one of those people where you have to play almost close to perfect against. And when you play the way I played that first 3 turns, it can get real ugly really fast. I think that match just proved it. And again, props to Zach for putting me in that position, not giving me a chance to come back either. And yeah, man, I unfortunately lose the first Terrakion Tussle title, man. Yeah. I guess this is just, you know, it's just a repeat of season 2, you know.
Oh my god.
Had to go throw some darts at Zach's face when I after the match.
That's still so funny that's from season 2. I love that.
Yeah, man. You know, you gotta keep the memes alive. You know,
Right, right.
you look back and I mean, it's beautiful. You know what I mean? It's beautiful.
No, it is
But
so cool. Yeah.
incorrect call for me, correct call for you, Jordan. Good stuff.
No, right, and I'll take those where I can. I'm a little behind this year, so definitely will take those when they're available. So the next match is Justin versus Brendan. Jay, we both called Brendan winning. You called him by 2. I called him by 1, and he won by 4. So
Impressive.
Brendan, yeah, put on a show and got the dub there. And 4 was a nice victory. You know, it's good for your plus minus. But
Mm-hmm.
the correct call is good for our numbers, and we both knocked that out. So awesome stuff.
Yes, sir. Next up, we have. Do they have a rivalry battle named J Wade and SB? Weren't they like really close before the PLC? Isn't J Wade the person that brought SB into the PLC? Am I going crazy? I could
I'm
be wrong
actually
about
not
that.
sure. That's a good question. I'm not sure.
Max, come Max.
Yeah, they
But
don't have a named rivalry, but that is, yeah, that's actually interesting. I would want to know more about that, but I'm not sure.
it could be like the Boston Tea Party be the name. Um,
Right.
we both called J Wade winning. I called J Wade by 3. You called J Wade by 2. And Jay Wade shows out for the Queen, Meghan Markle, and gets the perfect call for your boy, winning by 3. Fortunately, Jordan, it is still a correct call for you, but not a perfect call. But it is a perfect call for your boy. One time.
No, perfect calls. That's been your MO this year. So props to you for that first one. Good stuff. Um, and again, I take a correct call when I can. So
Yes, sir.
the next match is Ty versus Brian. Jay, we both called Brian winning this one. We both thought it would be close. You called Brian by 2. I called Brian by 1. Brian actually won by 5. So it sounds like it was a little bit of a drumming. But Brian takes the dub, and we
Yeah.
take the correct call, both of us. So awesome.
Sir. Next up, we have Chris going against the Reese Borden. Jordan. I called you Borden. I don't know why I called you Borden. We got Chris going against the Reese. Jordan, we both thought this was going to be a really good match. I think it was a good match. To me, it was probably one of the best matches from stream. When I saw it, there were a lot of different twists and turns, a lot of momentum shifts as well. The Azumarill Aquajet into the Storm Drain Tatsugiri that kind of flipped the momentum a bit. Reese was kind of dominating that beginning. You saw Chris kind of come back. Great match. We both called the Reese to win. I called the Reese by 3, and you called the Reese by 1. So Reese does pull out the win, but splits us apart exactly at 2. So props to Tony. You know what I mean? Putting in doing his work. Unfortunately, not getting us a perfect call. But again, it was a great match. Honestly, one of the I was very entertained watching that match, and good job to both players. Honestly.
Yeah, no, it was. And I was on stream this past weekend. I joined Ian for commentary, so I saw a lot of these matches, but I don't really remember too much about any of them. Story of my life. But I do remember the Tatsugiri taking that Aquajet, and Arisa was choice banned, so it's like,
Yep.
tough spot. But I was thinking in that moment, I was like, oh, look at Tatsugiri putting in work outside of Dondozo. That's pretty cool.
Right.
So, yeah, good stuff. But Arisa, again, thank you for the correct call. Awesome stuff. Next up, we have Jay versus Phil. So Phil is coming back, taking the place of Isamu. So thank you, Phil, for being the first reserve, and we ended up calling your name 4 weeks in. So thank you for being here. Jay, you thought Phil was going to win by 4. I thought Jay Grant's coming off a dub last week was going to continue that momentum and take the dub by 2. Phil did win, and he did so by 3. So correct call by you. Incorrect call by me.
Good job,
again,
Phil.
Welcome back, Phil. Yeah, props. Good stuff.
Jordan, there's actually your match coming up next. I know this is one you were stressing, low key, but we got Jordan going against his number 1 rival, Simon. 2 players of equal skill, equal caliber. I called Simon by 2. Jordan, you of course called yourself by 3, and you managed to pull out the W, man,
Hey.
by 2. Correct call for you and correct call for me, but how'd you feel about this match, man?
It is a stressful match actually. So Simon just kind of spoke this rivalry into existence. Like
Oh, don't say that.
it just happened. Like I'm not even lying. It happened. But what's crazy
Wow.
is it's a rivalry match now. So he kind of just like if you on paper, there's not really a reason for me and Simon to be rivals necessarily.
Wow.
Right? And that's not me that's just That's just facts. I think it's facts.
He said, "I have a ring and you don't." We're not
You
even the
kind
same
of,
conversation. Wow,
kind
wow,
of.
he
No,
doubled
but
down. No
no, but if
way.
you think about it, like
Wow.
objectively speaking, you look at our records, you look at our history.
Mm.
Jeez,
He's
I
not.
almost died just now.
You know what's crazy? The reason why Jordan just coughed right now is because it's his throat since he was capping. You
Yo,
know what I mean? His
yo,
throat
high
said,
key. That
"Look,
is what happened just
what
now.
what Jordan was trying to say is that Jordan's on a different level than Simon. And it's okay, Jordan. Just be honest. I get it. You know what I mean? It's okay.
No, but check this out. So again, like looking at, I'm not the best player by any stretch. I'm pretty average. Like statistically, I'm very average. But there's not really like again, Simon and I, we don't have like the backstory. We don't have the long standing friendship. We don't have the across the pond. We don't have any of those things. But Simon said after our first couple matches, this is a rivalry, and a couple years later, it's a rivalry, and it actually feels like that. So it's like a match I go into, and I know that I have to prepare, properly because it's not a match I want to lose. So it's cool to know that this has blossomed into an actual rivalry. It's pretty fire. So, yeah, I mean, I prepped for it, and luckily I came away on top. Simon, I mean, I think he actually could have came away with the dub with a couple protects here and there, and a couple maybe just item choices here and there as well. But
Mm-hmm.
ultimately, it was a solid match, and I'm just glad I got the dub, to be honest. So, good stuff, Simon. We put on a show.
He'd be
So.
he'd be calling you out in chat sometimes too, man.
Yo,
So,
Simon calls me out like all the time. I'll
oh
say something,
man.
I'll say anything, and Simon will be like, "Yeah, that's why I'm gonna beat you in our next match." And it's like,
Mm-hmm.
bro, chill out, man. And he says funnier stuff than that, but that's the first thing that came to mind. So,
That's
moving
funny.
on, moving on. Last match. So we're gonna wrap up week 4. Ian versus Dan. Jay, you called Ian by 2. I called Dan by 2. Ian does stay perfect on the year, winning by 2. So that is a
Mm-hmm.
perfect call for you, Jay. And unfortunately, that's my second miss of the week. Yeah, Ian gets you the perfect call. Good stuff. How do you feel
It's
about that
the
match?
chef right there, man. I don't know if y'all know, but next PLC party, Ian said he's making a lasagna, and you know what I mean? He made the sauce this past year. He's got to make the lasagna now. All that man cooks is perfection, and I
Hey.
appreciate that. Except for this week, but more to that to come to that later.
No, good stuff. Good stuff. So we just wrapped up the week. Jay, let me cover the wins and losses, and then you cover the perfect calls. Okay, so let's bring
I would
people up to
love to,
speed.
Jordan. Yes, I would love to.
Again, your perfect calls are your mo this year, so I'll let you cover that. But this week we both had 7 correct calls, and 2 incorrect calls. That
Mhm.
brings your overall to the for the year to 29 correct calls and only 7 incorrect. So you're
Mm.
absolutely killing it. That's actually a really amazing record. So 29 and 7 for you, and my 7 and 2 week puts me at 24 and 12, which is still respectable. But
Mhm.
5 correct calls and 5 incorrect calls off of you, which sounds weird, but yeah, 29-7 for you, 24 and 12 for me. I'm rambling, so go ahead.
It is okay, Jordan. It is okay. But for this week, I got 2 perfect calls from Ian as well as from Jay Wade. Jordan, you also got 1 perfect call this week from Mike. This brings our total perfect calls for you 6, myself 9. So again, you're still right there. I'm
Yeah.
telling you, bro, you're still right there. All you need is 1 solid week. Maybe if you bet on your boy once in a while, maybe we got a perfect call on that. But it's
Yo,
okay.
you're
I
not wrong.
respect your stance. I respect your stance. But it's okay. It's okay.
Yo, you're not wrong. You are not wrong. But look, I am one perfect week away from taking the lead in perfect
I'm
calls.
telling you, bro, you're right there. All you need
So
is like a
yeah,
solid week, a solid like 3 piece 1 week.
yo,
No
exactly.
fries.
A number 3, no fries.
Hmm.
But yeah, so that's all for week 4, Jay. The last segment with the recap of the last week is the play of the week. Now, again, I was on commentary last week, and I saw the matches. I even talked about some of the matches, but I don't remember much of anything about the matches.
It
You,
is okay, Jordan.
yeah, you've been
That's
carrying
why
this
I'm
segment,
here.
right? Exactly. So we'll lean on you again this week. But is there anything that stood out to you as a play of the week?
There's a couple, man. I think, man, when it comes, there's a lot of good matches this week, except for mine. Mine was the ass whooping. But, in that match, Moltres really stood out for me. It was just putting a lot of work. Those
Yeah.
Hurricanes were messing my team up. I think the Ditto also did really well. I'm not gonna lie to you, just coming in and just if I think if I get the kill in the flash cannon, I have a chance to bring it back.
Hmm.
Slim chance, but I have a chance. I think the Tatsugiri on Chris's side put in lot of work, man, a lot of work.
Hmm.
The Storm Drain I think was fantastic. I think the Garganac on the inside, just the presence on the field, and just the body pressing, like that pressure did a lot. And your match, Jordan, I think the screenplay actually was like clutch down the line. I forgot, I didn't realize. I remember I was watching your match. And I was just like, I was like, damn, screen is still up, and I was like, probably has light clay. I could be wrong. You let me know. Light clay on the Grim Snarl. I thought they
Yeah.
Lumuse put in a lot of work with the struggle build, kind of lowering that Spectreer's special attack. But if I had to pick one, there's a lot of good ones. It's just tough, man. This is tough.
Yeah.
I'm gonna give it to, to Moltres again. Second time for Moltres. First, I think the first one we did, I gave it to Moltres. I'm good to this one just because it put in a lot of work, and I think the other matches where there was times when like the momentum like shifted back and forth. In the recent Chris match, momentum shifted at one point. I think Ian's match, I think once the settlements went down, he was in a really comfortable position, but you kind
Hmm.
of saw Dan fight back towards the end. In your match, I feel like it was a little bit back and forth in the beginning, but the screens were able to mitigate a lot of the damage output of Simon's team as well as Ilmize. So I think it was very back and forth. So if it was the play of the week, I think it has to go to Moltres as that one Pokemon because I think everyone else's teams cohesively did a lot more work. Does that make sense? I feel like that doesn't make sense. Does it?
No, that's fair. Yeah, no, that is. And Zach's that Moltres is something that Zach's been trying to not pawn off, but kind of pawn off on
Hey
players.
man,
Yeah.
the the guy sells his stuff well,
Yeah,
and
no, for sure.
he has the footage to back it up.
Right. But I mean to his point, it's only weak to rock when it's flying and fire type, right? So I
Right.
think it was turn one, he goes Terra Dragon and he, sets up the tailwind. And then I think he gets again the hurricane, the free hurricanes off because the rain is up. So I think that
Hmm.
was a pretty smart play on his part too. Like, hurricane is a really strong, flying type move. And why not bring it against the team that's gonna bring rain? You know what I mean? So that was a pretty good like call on his part. So I think that is a pretty good.
Yeah, yeah, I
Sorry
guess.
that comes at your expense. I apologize,
No,
but
it's
no,
okay.
I kind of see that too. So and then Ian's Garganackle did stay around for a long
That
time,
thing
if I
was there
remember
for
correctly.
a
Yeah.
minute, man. I was like, damn, he's call that man Salt Bailey, who's just every couple turns, the body press, I think, was putting a lot of pressure, took out the Iron Valiant, as well. I think when Polito came in and did a lot of work too.
Mhm.
Scovelin, I think, on Arisa's team, that thing, like, I think tanking that extreme speed, I didn't think it was gonna tank the extreme speed.
Oh right, yeah, from the Arcanine.
I
That's
because
right.
I actually didn't see the standings for this week until like I have to watch the matches afterwards.
Hmm.
So I didn't know who won a little bit. But
Yeah.
I thought once I saw, I was like, "There's no way it's gonna tank it," and it tanked it, man.
Right.
And then that was super clutch.
No, that is fair. Those are good, standout performances from those Pokemon. But I think ultimately, I think it is fair to say the Moltres though. It did its thing, and then it subsequently got dropped, if I remember correctly.
Yeah, yeah. Just go to break, man.
Right. Yeah. Well, that's week four. So we covered our picks. We covered our calls. We covered the play of the week. It's going to Zach's Moltres, and that is all for week four. We're going to take a small
Boo!
break.
Boo!
As Moltres gets
Boo!
boos from the crowd, we are going to take a small break and we will be back with the transactions from the weekend. We'll see you guys in just a minute. All right, so Jay, we are picking up now with the transactions from last weekend. This was the first weekend that Zach had a little bit of an infusion of Pokemon into the pool. So we
Yeah.
had some pretty powerful asterisk mons. We had a Pokemon that dropped an asterisk, I think, and then we also had some pretty awesome non-asterisk mons introduced. So yeah, it was a pretty active weekend, and let's go ahead and jump in. So Zach starts us off with dropping the Moltres that we just spoke about. The Moltres
Boo!
that put in work for him, got to play of the week this week. It's been dropped. But it was dropped for Tornadus Therian. So Tornadus was a pretty hot pick. I think a couple people, you included, were going for
Boo!
it. We're going for it, and I think Zach sniped everybody. He sniped like two people, three
Boo!
people, and picked up
Boo!
the Tornadus. Zach, what do you think about that?
I think.
Or I said
Listen,
Zach. I'm
I
sorry,
think.
Jay. What do you think about
Listen,
that?
I was gonna say I
Yeah,
think
yeah,
Zach loves it. Zach's favorite thing is to snipe me. Call it the tornadoes tussle. But no seriousness, like the move. I remember saying. I mean, Zach was saying that his main reason for it was I think he wanted to just up his speed a little bit.
Mm.
A lot of his Pokemon they're okay, There's some that are really slow. There's also some that are okay fast. We never had like that speed demon, and I think Tornadoes kind of helps against a lot of potential tailwinds setuppers, if that makes any sense. I also think that it's a great pivot with Regenerator being able to go and get out of there. I think Bleak Windstorm is a really cool move. If Zach ever gets like some type of rain up, or he uses my rain against me again, things like that. But I like the move a lot. I'm gonna say
Hello.
Jordan, my
Oh
chat.
no, yep, I'm here. Sorry.
You see, the snipe was so bad that he also took Jordan from me, man. It's crazy. Next up, next up, we have myself dropping Quillfish, picking up Murkrow. I told myself I was gonna bring over Quill and Quillfish once this season, like together, and I did. It didn't go well. I'll always have extreme love for Hisui and Quillfish. But I think it's time for a change. I have a little bit of an influx of poison types on my team right now. And I did want a prankster on my team at least once this season. And I like Murkrow, man, former PLC mascot. And I think it puts in a lot of work. I like the foul plays, like the tailwind, like the quashes. You know how it is.
Yeah, no, Murkrow's fire. I love the pick for you because I mean, I think Hisui and Quillfish had Swift Swim, right?
Yeah, it
When
does.
you
Also,
have
it's
that,
intimidating. But I'm like,
okay, yeah. I
eh.
mean, you got options with it, but then I honestly think that I have Prankster Tailwind, and Prankster Tailwind is freaking disgusting. So it's like
Mhm.
anytime you need to swing a match, it's like, well, here comes Prankster Tailwind, deal with it. And now you have that option. So I love it for you. And I love
Thank
Murkrow.
you.
It's one of
Thank
my
you.
favorite Pokemon. So big pickup for you. Love it.
Thank you.
Moving on to Brendan. Brendan drops Duraludon, picks up Abomasnow. So I mean, this is a pretty solid pickup. I think Abomasnow is the mon that dropped its asterisk. Is that right?
Yes.
Okay, so I mean that's pretty dope because typically in our closed metas, weather is a premium, or whether you have to pay a premium to get that. And technically, I mean, without an asterisk now, it's less of a premium. So that's good. That's awesome. I think he also has, if I remember correctly, Brendan has Titan. He does.
Mm-hmm.
So that's a really solid pickup for him with the Pokemon that he already had on his team. The problem with it, though, I think with this transaction is that Duraludon is dope.
Mm-hmm.
Duraludon is like really good. It got even better with the introduction of Archaludon. So I mean, I would have preferred to see him drop a different Pokemon, but at the same time, he's getting a really solid Pokemon. But Duraludon gets picked up later. We'll talk about it in just a little bit, if I remember correctly. Yeah, next actually.
Yeah.
But
Is it? Mhm.
yeah, I'll let you let me know your thoughts and take it away.
Yeah. It's interesting. I can see why like looking for Obama Snow happened, of course, just to have that little bit of synergy with the Titan. I'm with you on the same boat where I feel like maybe there was something else you could drop. Like I probably would have dropped either like the Meloetta or the Belly Bolt, honestly. Not because I think they're bad Pokemon. I just think maybe, I don't know. I feel like Duraludon's just I mean, Abomasnow is just, it's a good addition for his team, but I think Duraludon also puts in a lot of work whenever it's given the chance. And again, with that increased EVO light bulk, I think it's dope. The problem is just that it doesn't get access to what makes our Chaladon great. It doesn't get access to
Right.
Electroshocks. That's a move it's an evolution move. It doesn't get access to stamina. It can't really body press because EVO light doesn't affect body press. Just things
Right.
like that. Um, but on the other hand, we have Ty dropping Probopass and picking up said Duraludon. And I like the move. I think the Steel Dragon typing is probably one of the best typings in my opinion. Duraludon still hits really hard. I think Stalwart's a very underrated ability that I think, can catch a lot of people off guard when it comes to like Rage Powers, Follow Me, things like that. and just Probopass wasn't really doing anything for him. It looks cool, it looks like Mr. Potato Head, but at the end of the day, I don't think it was really doing anything for him. I don't even think he brought it any of the weeks. I could be wrong though, but I like the move for Ty. I also like the move for Brendan as well.
Yeah,
What are
no,
your
that's
thoughts on those on the Probopass drop for Duraludon Jordan?
love it. Long story short, I freaking love the move. Probopass isn't a Pokemon that I think of when I think of competitive Pokemon, right?
Mhm.
Even the closed meta that we have, I
Damn,
just I just don't think about it like
damn,
that. And I just
damn.
looked up its stats: 60 HP, 150 both defenses, which is okay. Yeah, the defenses are dope, and I'm sure it can
Mhm.
probably body press and all that good stuff. But it's just not a mon that I think of. Again, competitive Pokemon. That's not the first thing that pops up in my head.
Right.
Again, it looks kind of funny, so sure. But Duraludon does speak to me from a competitive standpoint, so I like the
Mhm.
pickup. I love it.
Right.
Props to Ty. Good stuff.
Mhm.
And Brendan, again, I would have, again, Belly Bolt's probably what I would have dropped personally, but hey, it's not my team, so
Right.
not an issue there. So yeah, good stuff. Those two kind of went hand in hand, which was fun. Next up is a Reese dropping Iron Moth, picking up Annihilate. So, do you have thoughts?
Well, I have thoughts. I'm gonna let you go. I'm gonna let you
Yeah.
go.
I like the move because Annihilate can do some nasty stuff. Um, but at the same time, Iron Moth, I think that the Paradox Mons are like instant pressure, regardless of you just throw a booster energy on them and they're dangerous, right? Am I gonna go max speed? Am I gonna go I think Iron Moth is special attack if I remember correctly, but so I don't necessarily like the drop of the Paradox Mon, but at the same time, like if you're dropping an asterisk to pick one up, you're picking up another asterisk. So Annihilate is dope. You can just scarf it and you can Final Gambit and just immediately destroy one of your opponent's threats, just right up front, no questions asked, it's gone. Um, or you could run it with Rage Fist. I want to say is its ability.
Yes, sir.
Um, and then does it get
What's the
Defiant? I think I can't remember
yeah?
exactly. It was like a huge like Series One staple, and it's
Mhm.
been so long since then. But I mean, I like the pickup. I'm cool with it. Again, dropping an asterisk, picking up another one. I think it's pretty cool. What are your thoughts, Jay?
I think this is a very scary move
Mm-hmm.
for a lot of people. I think Annihilate is a menace. I don't like Annihilate is one of those Pokemon where not only is it like it's fake, like it's not fake bulky, but it's bulky. And not only that, like once with I think with Terra it makes it even better just because again once you get hit a couple of times, those Rage Fists are gonna KO almost anything that's not like let's say I'm trying to think what's resistant to Ghost besides like a normal type and maybe like a Steel type
Mm-hmm.
at that point. But like if you get a bulk up going on this thing and you go like Terra Blast or maybe like like a maybe even like a Steel, this thing put in a lot of work. A Reese can't be faked out, can't be intimidated. If you try to run like let's say like a struggle bug type set or anything like that, you're gonna give it a defiant boost.
Mm-hmm.
And again, I think a lot of good Pokemon, I think it has a good matchup against, to be honest with you. Like it KOs a lot of things. You can go find Final Gambit if you want to, but Rage Fist is such a crazy move, bro.
Mm-hmm.
And I think in the hands of someone like Reese, this has a lot of potential to get
Yeah.
really out of hand, honestly.
No, fair stuff. Yep, I agree.
Next up, we got Jay dropping Raikou, picking up Garchomp. I think it's a cool move. I think Garchomp offers a little bit more overall. You can go rough skin, rocky helmet. Garchomp's also deceptively bulky as
Mm-hmm.
well. Of course, has the 4 times weakness to ice, but again, this is the meta where we can change our type. So that's something to keep in mind. And Garchomp hits hard, man. I think it puts a lot of pressure as well whenever it comes out. So I think it's a great move for Jay. How do you feel about this move, Jordan?
Yeah, I mean, I couldn't agree more. Garchomp is scary, but you know what's scarier than a Garchomp? A steel type Garchomp, right? Where it's
Hmm.
just going to resist ice. It's going to, still do massive damage and still going to be very fast. So I think that Garchomp is one of these Pokemon. Again, any of the Pokemon that are like 4 times weak to anything are better in
Right.
Paldea. It's just that simple. So Garchomp was good, and now it's better. So Raikou, I don't know if Jay was in the same position I was, where I just needed a little more damage because Garchomp is a little bit more damage than Raikou.
Right.
So, no, good stuff. I'm cool with the move. I love it, and Yeah, Garchomp is nasty. So good
Hmm.
stuff. Next up is my move. So I dropped Suicune for Kyurem base, and I mean naturally I like the move because I did it, and yeah, Suicune was fire. Like Suicune, I don't want to downplay Suicune. It was my most effective Pokemon for the first 4 weeks of the season, without a doubt. Um, but that being said, I needed offense because Suicune just wasn't that immediate offense that I feel like you gotta at least pressure sometimes when
Yeah.
you're going to a match. Um, and I was kind of relying on it for offense, so I'd have to calm mind, or I'd have to do this, or I'd have to do that, and it just wasn't working out for me too well. So I
Right.
just wanted instant offense. Kieran base is instant offense, and I mean I have a pretty good support team around it, and it's just
Mhm.
gonna be my hard hitter, and I'm cool with it. I like it.
Yeah.
How
That's
you
a
feel,
good.
Jay?
That's To be honest with you, Jordan, I ain't the biggest fan. The reason I'm not
Fair.
like I like Hiram. The reason why I just think Suicune put in a lot of work for you, and I just
Yeah,
hate to see it go, honestly. But I
absolutely.
mean, I think it was a good move. I probably would have like went for maybe a non-asterisk because I think there's some non-asterisks that can maybe fill that offensive role. Um, look at look at Cinderace. You know what I mean? That's something that maybe you could have kind of slotted into that hit Harding role. That was weird wording. But like I said, you do have a good support kind of team over there. So I think Cinderace on that team would have been cool as well. But again, I think it's cool. It's cool.
Yeah, that's
I
fair.
like
That is
Hiram. I like
that is
Hiram.
good input though. That's very fair.
Next up, we have Dan dropping Salazzo, picking up Delphox. This was a move. I don't really know what to say. In Dan's words, he said, "Dropping trash ass Salazzle, for even more trash ass Delphox." End quote. I don't know if that's the exact quote, but it was something around there.
Yeah.
And I think it's okay. Yeah, yeah, yeah,
Yo, Delphox is fast, bro. Delphox is base speed 104.
yeah. But it like I don't know. Like it's cool. It's cool. And I like magician as an ability. I think you can do like a lot of like cheese stuff with it, honestly.
Mm,
And like you can it's cool. Because on Dan's team he could just expanding force with it, which
yeah.
is nice. You know what I mean? Because he has the terrain. So I think that's nice as well. Got mystical fire in there as well. That's it's potential, man. Definitely some potential. And as you said, it is fast. In undersected terrain, nothing's gonna really out priority it. It gets helping hand, I'm pretty sure, as well. So cool move. It's a cool move.
Yeah, no, after talking through it a little bit, that actually I like it for his team.
Hmm.
Salazzle, a Pokemon that is a very glass cannony.
Yeah.
It's gonna go in for a fake out, and then it's gonna likely go down in a turn or two. Delphox, it looks like it had a special defense of 100. Its HP was kind of low, but it was pretty fast. And
Hmm.
again, he has the psychic terrain to support it. So I mean, I like it for his team. It's kind of dropping fire for fire, and yeah, it works. So good stuff.
Yes, sir.
He referred to it as trash though, like
Mm.
he's dropping trash, picking up trash. Kind of strange, but interesting stuff. Um, Phil. Phil drops Skarmory, picks up Moltres. Freaking love it. So
Mhm.
Skarmory is cool. When I think of Skarmory from a competitive standpoint, I think rocks, stealth rocks. I think
Yeah.
defog. I think I guess like that's it. Moltres is 4 times weak to rock until it's not. Until you have a Terra Dragon Moltres looking at you, right? So
Boo. Boo.
call back to week 4. But yeah, I mean, Moltres is fire. No pun intended. Moltres is dope. And dropping Skarmory, you're losing a flying type, picking up a flying type in Moltres. Moltres is a really good pickup. I have to look at Phil's team to see like cohesion wise if it fits in super well, but I just think it's a good Pokemon, and seeing him pick it up is solid. Good stuff. Jay, how do you feel about
That shit cool, I guess.
that?
Next up we have SB dropping Metagross, picking up King Gambit. Um, I don't know how I feel about this move, Jordan, because I like Metagross a lot, and of course I don't think SB wanted to drop the Screaming Tail necessarily. Of course, you don't want two steel based Astros on your team because that's a little bit crazy. King Gambit's a menace though. Don't get me wrong. King Gambit is like to me, it's probably my it's tied with Archaeodon is like my favorite Pokemon. If you guys have battled me, you know that my icon's King Gambit. Okay. Anyways, off topic. But yeah, thing can sucker punch to make up for that low speed. It hits really hard, gets access to Defiant as well. Supreme Overlord, if you kind of save it in the back, let's say if you have four Pokemon down, you already get that boost from the Fallen. You know what I mean? So I think this
Hmm.
thing has a lot of firepower. And again, you can always Terra Flying it to kind of alleviate that fighting weakness. You can go Terra Ghost, you can even go Terra Fire, so lose that fire weakness, water. Kingambit is very versatile and it's scary, man. You always have to make sure you have something for it, no matter what. So again, I like the move. I probably would have went a different route just because I think Screamtail's okay. Um, and I just haven't seen SB use it for the support yet. But again, just because SB's matches aren't recorded, so I haven't seen that. But
Yeah.
it's okay. I love King Gambit though. What do you think about the move, Jordan?
No, I mean, it's something. SB actually reached out to me. He's like, "Yo, what do you think about this?" And I kind of went back and forth like a lot. Like I was like, they're very similar. They're very similar, but they're different at the same time.
Mm-hmm.
We kind of talked through a little bit of speed stats. They're both pretty bulky. They can do, kind of similar things, but kind of different things. So it was kind of a toss up. And I was like, hey, I mean, it's Metagross is good, but King Gambit's good. So
Mm-hmm.
I didn't really have any input for him or any constructive feedback. I was just like, yeah, they're good. I mean, if you want to do it, it makes sense. But that's kind of what you spoke to just now. They're both solid. So it's a move. um, Ian. Ian drops Zebstrika, picks up Thunderous T. So another Therian Genie off the
Mm-hmm.
board. And I've actually not really seen Thunderous Therian too much in battle. Volt
Mm.
Absorb is its ability, so it can, if you pair it next to a discharge user, that could be pretty solid.
Yeah,
And I just glanced. Yeah, go ahead, take it away real
let
fast.
me tell you something about
Go
Thunderous
ahead, go ahead,
T,
cook a little
man.
bit. Let's hear it.
Let me tell you something about Thunderous T. Do you know why Thunderous T is a menace, Jordan?
um, Special attack.
Did you look at that special attack
Yeah,
stat? What's the number on that special attack stat?
145.
145. 145.
Yes, sir.
And you know what? What you know what his signature move is? It's
Isn't it?
Wild Bolt Storm.
That's the new one, right?
Yeah. Do you
Hey,
know where Wild Bolt Storm is 100% accurate under?
in the rain.
So do you think what you mean? Like again, I call Ian the chef for a reason. I think this is a fantastic move. I think it's definitely bringing Raichu this week. But like, cause I ain't trying to get shocked to death. But
I dig it.
it's a good Pokemon, man. It's fairly fast. It's a decent speed tier. It hits like a truck. It fits well into Ian's discharge. That's what he's known for. He can go with Wild Bolt Storm as well. And not only that, he has decent electric switch in, which I think is also pretty cool as well. And thing with Thunderous is also like since it is electric flying, doesn't have that ground weakness. And
Hmm.
you can always kind of mess around with its Terra typing. And again, any like stab, let's say if I like Terra Fire and I go Terra Blast, any stab like special attacking move is gonna hit really hard. The
Right.
only thing that makes sense that they didn't give it to is that they didn't give Thunderous Hurricane, which that would have been outrageous. Then it really would have been out of control.
That would have been nasty.
Then I probably would have gone for it.
It's almost
But
a travesty that it doesn't get it, right? It is a flying
yeah,
type.
it's like that's
That is
that's what I'm
kind of
saying.
strange.
It's a flying type, but, shout out to our friends at Game Freak. But again, I think fantastic Pokemon. And I'm eager to see what Ian does with it, man. I think Thundurus is really cool, and I think it's again he's building up that rain team very well. Got the Kingdra a couple weeks ago, getting Thundurus now. He goes go for 100% accurate like Thunders if you wanted to as well. And I
Hmm.
think it's looking real solid.
Yo, you actually cooked up right there. You know the gif where the dude's like in the kitchen, like with the rice and the big.
Oh hell yeah!
Yeah.
You just flipping it. I do my thing. You know
Yo,
what I
you
mean?
cooked up. I dig
I try my best. I try my
it.
best. And speaking of cooking, I totally did not close the spreadsheet to look at stats.
No,
I
you're fine.
definitely didn't do that.
Well,
What do you mean?
let me throw to you. Let
Because
me throw to you.
I didn't. I didn't.
No, it's all. Let me throw to you. So I'm a oop. You dunk it, right? The
Okay,
next
but so
transaction is Evan dropping Cresselia for Latios. What are your thoughts on that?
and I don't know, Jordan, to be honest with you. Like, I
Yeah.
think Latios is cool. I think the buff to Miss Ball and Luster Purge is really clutch this gen. The signature moves, which now I think hit a lot harder and I think are now more accurate with a special defense drop coming from both. I think it's cool, and I think like Cresselia is cool.
Mhm.
Obviously, you want to use it for mostly Trick Room, which I get. There's also some use for it, but maybe I just think Evan maybe just wanted to change. And I think Latios is a really underrated Pokemon that not a lot of people are really looking at. But I think it's pretty cool. Um, I I don't know how I feel about the move. I think as time goes by, I think that'll help me judge a little bit better. How about you, Jordan?
Yeah, no, that's fair. My initial reaction is like I'm not the biggest fan of the move because Cresselia is
Mhm.
such a tank, and it's like uh, I always refer to this, but like a premier trick room setter, right? And
Yeah.
it's like it is a premier trick room setter, and it's very tanky, and it's can stick around. I think it can lunar blessing. Does that heal
Yes.
the team with their status effects or whatever? But
Hmm.
it's got it's just a good mon. So initially it's like, oh man, Cresselia is a really good Pokemon. Like, why'd you drop that? But then at the same time, Latios, I considered Latios this past weekend because again, I'm looking for instant offense, and Latios provides that instant offense that Evan could have been looking for. Where he's like, yo, I just need something that hits hard. I feel like I want something that is fast. I think it has Tailwind. I think one of
Yeah.
them has Tailwind, right, and the other doesn't. Am I tripping when I
I
say that?
know. I know that Latias has Toen. I don't know if Latios has it though. I have to
Yeah,
double check.
I think that may be a thing. I can't remember for sure, but I was looking at its special attack stat. I was looking at this. I was just like, that's actually not a bad option. That's like instant offense right there. So maybe that's what Evan was thinking, and I can't really hit on the move when it's like I was thinking about making the same move. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
So
and they both get Tailwind.
okay, they both okay. So that's good. That actually it's a fast tailwind. So it could be used for support as well. So I mean that's cool. But yeah, I mean I'm okay with the move just because again Cresselia's kind of they do opposite things where Latios is going to go fast, hit hard. Cresselia is going to stick around for a long time and set tailwind or trick room.
Hmm.
So solid move. It's an asterisk mon for an asterisk mon. And speaking of asterisk mon for asterisk mon, Chris drops iron garbage. I mean iron jugulus. I think that was his words, not mine.
Hmm.
For Cresselia. So again, we just spoke about Cresselia. Cresselia is dope, and Speakman's a dangerous player. Speakman's good, and
Yeah.
now that he gets his hands on Cresselia, where it's just a tank, it's like, oh man,
Hmm.
that's gonna be tough. Iron Dragulus, I think he was leading it. I think he was leading it with booster energy. Uh, I don't know if it was these past couple weeks, but I think at least one of his matchups, or was it this past week with versus Reese?
Hmm.
He did that.
Yes.
So I mean, he was using it for trying to go fast, trying to hit hard, which is kind of what it does. But Cresselia, I think that it's just going to stick around for a little bit longer. So good pickup for Chris. I like it.
I agree.
Good stuff. Good stuff.
Jordan, we're gonna go into our trades now, man. How you feeling? Only two trades. I'm surprised. A lot of drops, not only too many trades.
Yeah, I was
But
actually surprised about that. Yeah, because again, first weekend where we have all of this new stuff, and only two, or I guess four people decided to trade, but two
hmm
trades.
we have myself trading Mudsdale to SB for Monkey Dory. Now, I'll tell you this.
Mm-hmm.
There's two ways I thought about this move, right?
Mm-hmm.
In my head, I was like, I kind of want to get away from Trick Room. That's why I like made the deal. Then I was like, damn, I have a lot of poison types. I was like, damn,
Mm-hmm.
I didn't realize how many poison types I have. But I was like, it's like it looks like Mojo Jojo, and I was just like, I like that, and it hits hard, and like it can pivot, and I don't know. I just like I wanted a little bit of a change. The one week I brought Mudsdale, it missed the high horsepower, and that just forever like that just like, I just can't believe that you see how I get. I start to like stutter and stuff because I just
Yeah.
can't believe it was true. But no, I also think Monkey Door is really cool. I didn't want one of the loyal three when I got you know, um, That was one of my goals.
Hmm.
To try at least get one, see how it is, and it was one I wanted. So I think for me, I think it's a move that as time goes on, we'll see how good it went. And for SB, I love the move. He's kind of building up his own trick room core over there on his sides, and I think Mudsdale is going to help with that very, very handily, honestly.
Yeah.
How do you feel about the trade, Jordan?
No, I like it for both you guys because it's interesting to hear your perspective too, where you're like, yeah, I don't necessarily want to go slow, and I want something that is fast, something that hits hard, and it's also a really cool Pokemon, and it does look like
Hmm.
Mojo Jojo. So,
I'm saying,
yeah,
bro, it's the
props
same drip.
from that perspective as well. The aesthetic is dope. So, I mean, I think it's a really cool pickup. The loyal three are pretty fun, and Mudsdale SP gets a good Pokemon and Mudsdale back. So I think it was a really good trade for both players. These are the kind of trades you love to see, where it's like Mudsdale's fire, right? Monkey Dory fire, and we're making this move, and I think it's mutually beneficial, and you love to see it. So I think it was a good trade for both you guys.
Thank you, thank you.
Absolutely. And the last transaction is we're not gonna. I don't want to harp on this too much, but I'm sure you're gonna have some thoughts too, Jay.
I might have some thoughts. No, I'm joking. I'm joking. Continue,
So
continue.
Evan trades Quackwaval to Simon.
Mm-hmm.
Simon sends Galarian Zapdos back to Evan.
Mm-hmm.
And I think it's fair to say that Evan came away like the winner of this trade. So this
Mm-hmm.
is like kind of like your trade was Mudsdale's dope, Monkey Dory's dope. Let's trade them. This trade is, I mean, Quackball, I'm sure to some folks it is dope, right? It's got Aqua Step. Does it have, what's its hidden ability? I can't even remember
Uh,
now. I wanted to say Sniper, but that's definitely
Moxie.
Inteleon. Oh, okay, so Moxie's dope. Moxie's a pretty good ability, but yeah, it's just like, I mean, it's not Galarian Zapdos in my eyes, right? Galarian Zapdos with Thunderous Kick, I think is the name of the move. You can just
Mm-hmm.
scarf your Galarian Zapdos, Thunderous Kick, lower the opponent's defense, and then you're hitting harder with your partner, right? So that's pretty disgusting. It's also got Defiant, so it scares away Intimidators. It scares away um, Pokemon that are using accuracy lowering moves or defense lowering moves or whatever the case, lowering moves. It scares those away. It kind of makes your opponent think about that. Um, so I just think that Galarian Zapdos is a little bit better of a Pokemon than the Quackball. But at the same time, Quackball is pretty cool. The starters are always pretty well balanced, and yeah, maybe Simon just has he was more of a fan of the Quackball than the Zapdos. But Jay, what did you think about the last
Yeah, I mean,
transaction for the
maybe,
week?
like I said, maybe you just wanted like a change of pace.
Mm-hmm.
I won't. How do I say this? I'm sorry, Simon. I just don't like the move. That's because Galarian Zapdos just has a special place in my heart. I just feel like it's a little bit more versatile than I think people give it credit for. Um, Not only can you can scarf it, you can also throw in the thunderous kick. You can U-turn if you want to pivot. You can also go with like again it hits hard. You go to close combat. We saw the knockoff in your match a lot, Jordan, with the Terra Dark.
Mm-hmm.
The only thing is just and from what I heard the item selection was a little funky.
Mm-hmm.
I think if the item selection isn't funky, I think the Zapdos does a lot better, and I think Simon doesn't trade it the very next week.
Yeah, that's a good point.
Personally, again, I do think I'm agree with you. I think Evan does walk out the winner. I think Kokoro has a lot of potential, but I just don't think it has that flair that Zapdos has. But now I have to try to get Zapdos off of Evan's team, which is kind of annoying, but it's okay.
No, that's fair. No, that's good input though. So yeah, and that kind of wraps us up. So that's all the
Mhm.
transactions. That is the two trades. And Jay, is there anything you want to mention about this past weekend's experience before we head
Solid,
into the
solid
infos?
moves, man.
Yeah,
There's still a lot of good stuff on the wire too. So just, if there's something that you like, just try to be there on time. Try to get to that button first. There's still a lot of good stuff on there, honestly.
yeah, no good stuff. Like Typhlosion. I'm going for Typhlosion myself next week. We'll see if I can
Cap,
snag that because that'll be fun. But
cap.
no, Typhlosion's cool. It's like a big ferret. It's like a big ferret, a big fiery ferret. I freaking love it. So Now we'll see how that goes. But yeah,
Yes,
so that's
sir.
the transactions. That's all your drops. That's all your acquisitions. Those are your trades. And we will take a small break as we prepare to talk about this week's matchups. We will see you guys in just a second. All right, Jay. We are back again with the last segment of the podcast, the calls for the week.
Yes, sir.
Week 5. It's been a month that we've been playing, and this is week 5. So I'll just kick us off real quick. Dan and Simon. That's the first matchup of the week, and not gonna shade Simon at all. But I'm just gonna go Dan by 3. I think it's Dan's, again, we've mentioned it before, but I think Dan's a really solid, competent player, and I think he comes away with this by 3. Not to say Simon's not. Simon is playing well lately, but
Yeah.
I just think Dan comes out on top. So Dan
No,
by
I agree.
3.
I think Simon's been playing very. I'm sorry, John. I'm going to interrupt
No,
you.
you're fine. Go ahead. Sorry.
But I think Simon's been playing very well recently. I just think there's just been these little like misplays, and I think item choices that are really kind of limited what he's been able to do in matches. Still think Dan takes it. I think Dan takes it by 4. However,
All right, I've got you locked in. Dan by 4.
next up we have Evan going against Justin. I think this is I don't know. This is a match right here. This is an interesting one for sure. But I'm gonna go with Justin. I'm gonna go with Justin by 2. I think he has just a little bit more cohesion on his side.
Gotcha. Justin by 2. I've got it locked in. I'm gonna go Evan. I don't think we've really seen too much of Evan playing. I can't just, again, the recorded matches. If we had the verse secret, it wouldn't be a thing, but unfortunately, that's not the case. But Evan's still looking for his first PLC dub, and I'm not sure when it's gonna come, but I'm not sure it's gonna be this week because Justin has been playing pretty well lately. So I'm gonna go with Justin by You went Justin by 2. I'm gonna go Justin by 3, just so that
That's
we're
fair.
just a shade different. But the next match is Jordan Wade versus Jordan Herrera.
Mm.
And naturally, I got to go with myself. I'm going to go with
Hmm.
myself by 2, though, because, I went with myself by 3 last week and I won by 2.
Yeah.
And that's just my play style. So I'm going to call myself winning, but I'm going to call myself winning by 2.
Yeah, I think I'm also probably gonna go with Jordan too. Not gonna lie to you. But the one from across the pond,
No,
I'm
no,
going
no, don't
I'm
do
going with
it.
Jay Wade, and I'm going with Jay Wade by 2.
J Wade by 2 for the queen, right?
For the queen. Meghan Markle,
There we
by the way.
go. Yeah, there we go.
Next up, we have Brendan going against Ty. A little bit of a rough week for Ty, coming
Yeah.
off his recent match against Brian, I believe it was. Um, s- Brendan getting I believe, a win coming into this week. I think that's clutch. I'm gonna go with Brendan by 2. I think Brendan's has a little momentum on his side, so I think he's probably gonna take the win by 2. I think Ty's gonna come out super motivated though.
Yeah, no, I agree. I think Ty, he did play Brian last week, and Brian won by 5, which is it's a big dub, right? And then
Mhm.
likewise, it's a big L, because losing by 5 is not fun. But so Ty is gonna come out with a chip on his shoulder. But again, Brendan, he's these last couple seasons, he's wound up in the playoffs every season. He plays well. I'm gonna go with Brendan by just 1 though. I think Brendan does take the dub, but I think Ty's gonna keep it close, and I think Brendan
Mhm.
takes it by 1. So.
That's fair.
Next up, we have Speakman versus SB, and Speakman coming with that Cresselia. I'm gonna go with Speakman by, as I tap my desk, thinking Speakman by 3, because
Mm.
SB, he's got the new mon as well in that kowtow cleave thing. Its name escapes me right now, but we're gonna go
King
with Speakman
Gambit.
by 3. There we go, King Gambit. Yes,
I got you.
it's like you read my mind, Jay. Thank you.
I'm also gonna go with let's go with Chris. I'm going to go with Chris by 3 as well. Um, I just feel it in my bone.
Yeah, no, that's fair.
We got Brian going against Jay. I think it's an interesting matchup. Not gonna lie to you, Jordan. Got the rookie going against Brian, who's not usually like here a lot. So I'm gonna go with Brian. I'm going with Brian by 3.
Brian by 3. Good stuff. Okay. Um, Jay, I think. See, this is my problem.
Mm-hmm.
I go against you, thinking that Brian's pretty solid, right? Brian's a pretty good player.
Yeah.
Jay, she has a dub. She actually, I mean, you've been playing well this year, and she took the dub by 1. Was it 1? I think it was 1 by you, right?
Mm-hmm.
Or 1 against you. So she does have a win. And I'm thinking, like, just so that we're different, I want to go Jay by 1. But my record tells me betting against you this year has not been my smartest decision. So I'm going to roll with your pick as well. I'm going to go with Brian by 2. So, because again, that's kind of what my head is telling me. My heart's telling me to go Jay, and I'm gonna listen to my head this time. Brian by 2.
It's okay.
Next up, so we actually have your match, so I'll let you kind of speak more to it in a sec. But
yeah, man.
Jay, I'm sorry. I kind of said like I'll let you speak to it, and I threw the. I'm sorry.
Oh no, I was that was just kind of like my Quavo ad lib.
That's funny. No, that's my bad. That was misleading. That was a strange.
An ad lib, Jordan. No, it's okay. It's okay. It was an ad lib. It's okay.
Jay, I'm taking you by 2. Don't let me down.
Really?
This is my first. This is my first time betting on your side this year. Don't let me down. This is a good matchup. This is you and Ian. You guys. This is the Battle of the Hudson. You both have ranked teams. This is gonna be fun.
Battle of the Hudson, man. I'm excited for this one. This is one of the ones I circled on my calendar.
And see, I think you're gonna get up for this one. So I'm gonna go with you by 2.
You know what it is, man. Just for the sake to oppose you, I'm gonna go with Ian by 2.
Whoa.
Just I'm joking.
I was thinking I can't lock that in. No.
I'm going with Ian by 2 because no matter which way it goes, I win.
Yo, that's actually not.
No, that's petty.
That's petty. That's smart.
No, I'm going with myself.
Yo, you're playing chess. I'm playing checkers.
No. I'm going myself by 2. I'm going myself by 2.
Jay by 2. For the both of us.
Exactly.
I'm doing it because you can't let me down. You've been correct every single week this week. So. Or every single week to this point in the season, you're balling out. I'm going with you by 2.
No promises. No, we'll see. I'm excited. It's gonna be a good one.
It'll be fun. Yes, it will be.
We got Phil going against Zach, the returning Phil. Toughest task yet so far, even though it's only his second week battling. Tough matchup, man. Zach's team is really good.
Mm-hmm.
But I think Phil has the team to stop it, honestly. Damn. We'll go Phil by 2.
Phil by 2?
Yes, we'll go Phil by 2.
Phil by 2. Gotcha. That's actually funny that you say that because I was thinking I thought I was zagging when you were gonna zig, but if you look back at the transactions from this past week, Phil picked up Moltres. Moltres Revenge game?
Tour,
yeah, we're on the same page here. Are we going to see the Moltres Revenge game? Are we going to see the Moltres Revenge tour? Possibly. But this time around, I'm not so certain. Just because Zach has that pedigree, that's like next level. Right. So I'm going to roll with Zach in this one by 3. I'm going to go with Zach by 3. I think that's fair.
That's very fair.
All right, but it will be interesting to see what Moltres does. I will be tuned in. So, the last one is the battle of the brothers, Aris and Mike. Not going to speak too much to this one because I may or may not know the results. I'm going to go with Aris by 3. No spoilers.
I think I'm also going to go for Aris by 3. I don't know why.
Just feel it in your bones, right?
Yeah, I just feel it. Like I really know how to say it.
Exactly.
Yeah, I'm going for Aris by 3.
Yeah, that's just a number. I like the number 3. I like Aris winning by 3.
Exactly. Chris Paul. Plate number 3.
Allen Iverson. AI.
Allen Iverson.
Chris Paul. AI.
Chris Paul. AI. Bronze. The plate bronze.
And Jay, what happened to your mic?
I don't know. You tell me.
It sounds like your mic is like in your t-shirt.
It wasn't my t-shirt because I was thinking I was trying to stall for great number threes.
Yo, wait, hold on.
Chris
Let's do this
Paul
real quick.
AI.
I'm actually like, now that we're thinking about it,
Okay.
this is a fun way to end the podcast because we're done. That's all the picks. So that's all the picks for the week. We're gonna end the podcast real quick by thinking of all the famous number threes.
Okay.
All right,
Babe Ruth.
Babe Ruth
Was
was
Babe Ruth
number
number three?
three. I don't know.
Babe Ruth was number three. Hold on. I'm gonna Google it. I'm gonna Google it. Hold on.
I can't. I want to say number 11 for some reason. I don't have like. There's no reason I should be saying number 11, but maybe I don't know.
It was Babe Ruth.
He was number 3.
Yeah.
Fire stuff. Good call.
I do my thing.
Who else? Let's think football. What's number 3 in football?
Number three is usually like what, like
You don't really see.
quarterback.
Yeah, but you don't really see number 3.
Think who's a good number 3 in football?
Well, I'll tell you.
Question.
Rodney Stuckey.
Odell?
Oh, well,
No.
number 13.
13.
Rodney
I don't know why
Stuckey. Well, look, Rodney Stuckey, when he played for the Pistons in like 2011, or like maybe earlier than that, he was number 3. Only reason I know that is because I was watching an Allen Iverson clip about 2 or 3 hours ago, and there was a comment that said Rodney Stuckey should have given Allen Iverson his number because he was number 3, and AI naturally number 3. Bro, I'm blanking though. I can't think of any number 3s.
Yeah, I'm trying to think. I said Babe Ruth.
Yeah, that was a good one.
We said Allen Iverson.
Mm-hmm.
Trying to think.
Dwayne Wade. Oh, good call. D Wade, yes.
Dwayne Wade. We said Chris Paul.
One. Yep.
What was number 3?
When I Google it, we're gonna be kicking ourselves because it's gonna be so.
I'm trying to think football. I can't like.
Number 3 in football. That seemed like a kicker number, right?
It does, but I feel who was nice with number 3. All right, let's get 2 more minutes. Hold on.
Yeah. Let's think about this. I think basketball is the most number 3.
Russell Wilson.
Oh yeah, I think you're right. Yep, he just got let go. Didn't he get kicked? He got like. I think he gets that money, right? 85 million?
Of course, yeah. They sold him that money. That's crazy.
Good freaking stuff. Good stuff, Russell. Yeah. No, oh wait, no. Drew Brees was 9.
This is 9. I'm trying to think.
There might be a receiver on the receiver for the Saints. That's number 3. Huh. Oh, I think no, he's number 0. I was gonna say there's a player for the Rockets who's a number 3. Green. Jalen Green? What number is Jalen Green? I think he's number 0.
Jalen Green. Number 3.
Jalen Green is number 4. What the heck am I thinking? Oh, Brad Beal.
It was close.
Brad Beal's number 3.
I know Brad Beal was number 3. That's crazy.
I cheated. There was a clip right here. It's showing the Rockets and they're playing Phoenix and Brad Beal's number 3. So
I think. And I'm definitely not. I definitely didn't have to look this one up. This is Alex Rodriguez when he played for the Texas Rangers.
Oh, okay.
That definitely was all knowledge right there.
That's going back years, decades.
Yeah, I'm like, that was. I definitely didn't look at the.
He played for them before he played for New York, right?
He played for.
He retired from New York.
Texas, Seattle, and then he came to the Yankees. As like his final stop.
Interesting.
I hate that I got like Babe Ruth immediately though. I hate that I got that. I don't know why.
Yo, aren't you? You're a Yankees fan. Oh wait.
I'm a Mets fan. Jordan.
Oh, that's right. That's right.
When I went to the PLC draft party, I was wearing a Mets.
Yep. And I know that too. I don't know what I was thinking. I was just thinking like New York. You're in New York. I was really thinking like New York versus Boston in that moment.
Every time I go to Yankee Stadium, I want to throw up.
That's funny. They're not in Shea Stadium anymore, right? The Mets?
The Mets are in Citi Field, which is across the street from Shea Stadium, which is in Flushing, Queens.
Gotcha.
Last stop on the 7 train for anyone who wants to visit.
When you're in New York on the 7?
You know what I'm saying? Last stop, I'm going to get a nice view.
There we go.
All that good stuff.
All right. I think I'm about to... Is Darius Garland? Is he number 3?
Nah, that sounds number... Is he? Number
No, I think
13 or something like that.
he's number. I don't see it. Hold on. Images. He's number 10.
Number 10. Who's like? I'm trying. I think that's pretty much it. I'm trying to think who's a memorable number 3
All right, let's do this. Most memorable number 3s
in sports.
in sports.
I'm trying.
We give
I'm
up.
trying.
Most famous number 3.
I'm trying to think soccer for Jay Wade.
Oh, this was gonna be tough, dude. Okay, so here are the numbers. We actually did pretty good, all things considered. Babe Ruth is number 1. You killed that. Good stuff. Number 2, AI. Got that clearly. Number 3, D Wade. You got that. Another good call on your part.
Thank you.
Number 4, Ken Griffey. Ken Griffey Jr.
Ken Griffey. Ken Griffey was number 24.
Ken Griffey Jr. says number 3.
When?
He's the number 4 person on the list. It doesn't really give the. It looks he's wearing a Cincinnati jersey here though.
Oh, okay, never mind. That made sense.
Yeah,
that was like.
Didn't he play for? He played for the Mariners.
He played for the Mariners, but that's interesting.
Yep, he's always wearing a Cincinnati jersey. You actually funny thing is you can't see the number in the Cincinnati picture they chose, which is weird. But whatever.
Yeah, like how long did he play for the Reds for? He played for us for 8 years. That's crazy.
That's a while, yeah.
I didn't know. I thought he played for like 4 years. I knew he played with the Mariners for like almost 9 years. I didn't know that. That's crazy.
He played 21 years. That's a good career.
Mm-hmm.
Baseball players, they can play forever, can't they?
Mm-hmm.
Chris Paul, number 5. We got that.
Okay.
So good call on us. CP3, pretty straightforward. All right. Jimmy Fox.
Who the hell is Jimmy Fox?
He played.
No offense to Jimmy Fox or whoever Jimmy Fox's family. I just don't know
no, Jimmy Fox. He was all right. So I'm gonna give you. Well, no, I'm just gonna say it. Years active. He played Major League Baseball from 1925 to 1945.
Jesus.
He played. Good Lord, he's. Oh my gosh. Okay, so Jimmy Fox, number 3, number 6 on this list. So again, we got the top 5 essentially, right? We missed Ken Griffey Jr., but we got the top 5. Jimmy Fox, Tracy McGrady, number 3 with New York actually, because T-Mac was definitely not number 3 with Houston or Orlando. He's probably number 1 too. So yeah,
I actually know that. That's crazy.
Yeah, was Stephon Marbury number 3?
No, so was number 20 something. I forgot.
Okay, all right. Well, yeah. I just saw the Knicks jersey, and I was like, Steve Francis then? Steve Francis. With
Stephon Marbury was number. That's a good question.
Steve Francis was number 3. There we go with Houston.
Stephon Marbury was number. The Timberwolves, he was number 3.
Okay, so we're
oh yeah, the Knicks too. That's crazy.
Check this out. Look at us. We need a little inspiration, but we got this. All right, so Trace McGrady was number 7 on the list. We're just gonna knock out the top 10 real quick. Russell Wilson, got that. Again, good call on your part. A-Rod, good call on your part. Another one. And
that I definitely didn't have to Google, but yes.
He was number 9 on this list, and number 10 is another very old gentleman. Played in the Major League Baseball. Harmon Killebrew played Major League Baseball.
Don't tell me he played for the Cubs.
It actually doesn't show what team he played for. Is that? I can't tell. The logo is too old. But he played Major League Baseball from 1954 to 1975, before anyone in the PLC existed or was thought about.
How do you spell his name?
Harmon, Harmon. Killebrew, Killebrew. Carmen Hillebrew.
Gotcha. He played for the Minnesota Twins.
Oh wow! I was gonna make a joke about a team that doesn't exist anymore, but
it says Washington Senators / Minnesota Twins. So they definitely got like changed. He played for the Royals.
He played like before they. He didn't play in the modern era.
Oh, don't say. Oh,
that's funny. No, all respect.
Listen, man, he was
Harmon Killebrew.
He was a 13-time All-Star.
That's high key, pretty impressive. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
AL MVP in 1969.
573 home runs. Actually,
you know what's funny? Like baseball, Major League Baseball has stats that go back like a century.
Decades, bro.
Yeah, that's too funny to me. Like black and white pictures. That's
Wait,
funny.
matter of fact, let me ask you a question. This is the last question. I promise you guys we're gonna end the podcast with this. For
Right,
anyone who
right.
hates sports, I'm sorry. Are you a believer that Will Chamberlain's 100 something game?
Bro,
Do you think that it exists?
I don't know, man. I don't
Because everyone's
know.
like, everyone's like, you don't have no footage
They said
of
like
that
send the
game.
video.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. So, the video.
Send the video.
I
Oh
think
man.
it exists. It exists.
I mean, to be fair, like didn't he put up like he averaged 51 year? You know what I mean?
Like I was out here playing plumbers and
Yeah,
doctors and
like
lawyers.
literal plumbers and doc. Yeah, but nah, he averaged like 51 season. He averaged like 30 plus rebounds or something crazy like that. So I think I think it probably happened, but I just think it is funny. Like the discourse on Twitter around it is freaking hilarious. So yeah, I think it probably happened.
Mm-hmm.
Just it happened in before the modern era. You know what I mean?
Exactly. Before the video was created.
Exactly. Exactly. Oh, I'm trying to think of some of the stuff that was on Twitter. They said like we have video of this, but we don't have footage of the 100-point game. You know,
Mm-hmm.
funny stuff. But all that being said, we both take a Reese by 3 because we think 3 is a pretty fun number. So
Okay.
circling it back to
that,
PLC
that,
conversation.
that was random. I was not
That
expecting that.
was
That was
that was
good though.
good.
That was
Yeah.
good. No, that was actually really good. I wasn't expecting that.
No, just 3 is a good. It's a good number. We like it. So a Reese by 3, both of us.
Yeah.
We love
3. Also
3
because 3 times 2 is 6. And
exactly.
season 6 was the finals that I lost. Um yeah.
And 6 is also LeBron James Miami Heat jersey number. And I think I have a
Yes, about
LeBron.
that.
I have a LeBron number 6 jersey too. I think it might be 23, but I think it's 6. So yeah. That being said, there's 2 of us. We like the number 3. 2 times 3 is 6. And season 6, Jay was in finals. Season 6, I think I lost to Brandon in playoffs, which is unfortunate. Fun stuff. And that's the podcast. So Jay, anything else you want to say to the people before we roll out for the evening?
No, man. Just make sure to prep well. Get your Pokemon on time. If try not to ask for a new 6 every week because that's a little redundant, and the generals hate it, and I don't blame them. But
Right.
yeah, just have fun. You know what I mean? Just have fun with it. If you lose, you lose. When I lost to Zach, I was a little bit like, eh. But afterwards, I was making jokes about it. So it's good. It's cool, man. You know, it's cool. Just make sure to have like that attitude about it. But again,
Right.
feel free to take it how you want it. At the end of the day, everyone's different. But again, just remember, we're here to have fun.
Yeah, just have fun. I like that. I like that as tips or as a tip to end the podcast. So there we go. That's all for week 5. We will see you guys in chat. And yeah, have a good night. Peace.
Peace.